Metroid Prime 4. Been waiting for this one since 2017. But, that's okay. It took as long as it needed to, and I think it was worth the wait. Now for me, I really enjoy the Metroid Prime series. I've been playing since the original on GameCube, back released in 2002. What sold me on it growing up playing it was the atmosphere and the music and the combat. The lock-on combat felt super snappy and really satisfying, especially back then. On the GameCube, I don't know, I feel like 3D was really starting to get its footing, and you're starting to see uh, exciting things coming from Nintendo that we normally wouldn't, like a first-person Metroid game. But we used to get a lot more releases back then. Just between 2002 and 2007, we got 3 games in the Metroid Prime series. We got the original Metroid Prime, we got Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, and then we get Metroid Prime Corruption in just a span of 4 years. No, wait, yeah. 4? Is that 4? 5. In the span of 5 years. That's pretty good. Now, we get 1 game every 6 years. Damn. Game development is just ballooning. It's crazy. But Metroid Prime is back. Is back and is back in strong form. Again, if you ask me, it's not perfect. There are some structure issues that I don't personally like, but ultimately I do still think it is a Metroid Prime game. And to me, that's the most important thing. But another thing that I liked about Metroid is the focus on the biology and morphology of the planets and of the inhabitants and the enemies you fight. It's not just go in and blast things. You can actually learn about these things using the scan visor. I think that was the scan visor in Metroid Prime, like, to me, is like a very, very, very integral part of the experience. It immerses you. You can learn about the world and about the enemies you fight, not only to give you contextual hints on what to do and how to fight the boss, but just where they came from, like lore implications, their name, where their nervous system is located in their anatomy. Like, that's not really necessary, but it adds so much immersion and roleplay. I think another thing that Metroid Prime is known for is really pushing the feeling of being in a power suit. That's vapor coming across the visor, that's bright flashes in your face, water coming down your visor, the streaks, like small things like that, I think go a long, long, long way in really making you feel part of the world. So another reason why this game took so long to come out is because of the development issues. It was announced in 2017 by Nintendo that development had started, but 2 years later, in 2019, Nintendo released a video announcing development would restart and Retro would be taking over. That's not common. That's not a common thing that happens for games. Not only do they announce publicly that development is restarting, but the studio is swapping. That's odd, but probably for the best. But that being in 2019 when that announcement dropped, and we didn't get the game until December 5th, 2025. I only bring this up for context because, again, that's pretty rare. Typically, too, when development restarts on something or there's trouble development and it takes a long time for the game to come out, typically it doesn't bode well for the project. But with all that considered, though, I do think Retro turned out a quality game and a solid Metroid Prime title. That was the most important thing for me going in. As someone that loves the series and that wants to feel the staples of this franchise still feel like they are being, respected, it still feels like it fits, then I'm typically fine. Out of all aspects, Retro Studios always shines in the presentation. This is no, this is no exception. Um, this game looks incredible. The art direction is top notch, but like everything feels so sharp, typical for retro, so smooth, and I don't remember encountering any frame rate issues, any frame rate hiccups, any slowdown, any glitches. Like this is a solid, like a solid crisp release, a solid beautiful looking game that like reflections, like all the shader detail, all the like everything looks pristine and everything looks top notch. Surfaces, Samus's arm cannon, the reflections on Samus's suit in cutscenes in gameplay. Goddamn, they cooked here. They did good. Each area in the game has its own distinct look and feel and vibe to it. You got your deep, lush forests. You have your volcanic factory. You have your... This one I think is unique. You have a vehicle factory in the middle of a thunderstorm biome that's constantly going. That's pretty cool. The lock-on gameplay that Metroid Prime is known for has been refined and polished, where it feels really, really, really good to control, especially in boss fights where that really matters. Because yes, you have that very tight, very precise lock-on for Samus. I mean, she has an arm cannon. You know, it'd be really difficult not to be able to know exactly where you're aiming if your body is the weapon. But it's not just about locking on and shooting. It's about locking on, and the moment-to-moment micro-aiming enemy encounters is so satisfying. It's so satisfying. Samus, as always, is cool as shit. In cutscenes, Samus is always looking cool, always trying to show off. Samus is awesome and she knows it. Your crew knows how awesome Samus is, the legendary bounty hunter. Now, you remember when we first learned there was going to be characters interwoven into this story as you progressed? The famous Miles McKenzie scene.
You're alone on a planet, no hope of survival. But you're also not sitting next to Phil anymore in that cubicle, so... Win?
You know, I understand. I was also apprehensive, but I will at least say, in my personal view, I think that the Federation characterization is done very well here. And I didn't mind their inclusion. Actually, I think they really added to the overall experience instead of taking away from it. And I love the isolation that typically involves Metroid Prime games, because again, you're on a planet alone. Samus Aran is a lone bounty hunter. But I like the color that the crew added here, and I'm glad that they were included rather than it just be a solo journey. So you got Tokabi, he's the wise ninja. You got Mackenzie, you know, the engineer. He's the typical, again, Marvel. I got quips for you, but that's everyone has their own thing. Cause you got Duke, which he's the war veteran, but he's also a soft-hearted individual that takes care of the soldiers under his wing. You got Nora. She's the fangirl, the optimism of the group, you know? Like, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting a fangirl moment in Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, but we got it.
Sarge!
Armstrong, you all right?
I'm good. You?
Yes.
While I was waiting, I was studying this hologram. Samus? It's really you. I don't even know what to say. Is this a new suit? It's amazing. I love it. I love it so
Private.
much. Yes, sir.
You got View 995, which is, you know, an android. Personality is kind of artificial. I even like View. I like his character, his voice articulation. I really like that synthesis with that scratchy, hard analog sound that he has. I really like that.
Greetings, Samus Aran. You have a new suit. I am View 995, Galactic Federation Golem Pilot. Moving forward, please let me know when I can clear the way.
None of them annoyed me. And again, I think that's good. I don't want to be annoyed playing a Metroid Prime game with people. You know, I'm supposed to be isolated, figure out where I'm going.